5 seconds.
Spencer.
Ready cart, ready EJ4.
Thursday, only on NBC.
And Kill Network at your cart. Go, Karina. Open EJ4.
They have no
Ready,
respect
Alpha
for the
with
law.
sound.
Now cops need your help in
Ready,
bringing
Alpha.
them to justice. Coming up on Action News, a report on gangs in the Santa Maria Valley.
Rolling Alpha sound.
He doesn't look like
Clear.
himself. He looks very not well right now.
Continue VO.
Friends reach out
Next
to a
is
UC
Bravo,
Santa Barbara
VO.
soccer player arrested for rape.
Ready, Bravo.
Hear why they believe deputies have the wrong man.
Typing.
Plus, another mass rally
Semi
outside the
Foxtrot
Santa
with
Barbara
sound
News
for the
Press.
open.
We
Ready,
have the very
Foxtrot.
latest on this ongoing story. Action News starts now.
Rolling Foxtrot sound.
Live from
Semi 3.
KSBY 6, the Central Coast's #1 local news. This is Action News at 6.
And go 3. 3 is up.
A jump in gang violence
Semi
has
one.
police in northern Santa Barbara County looking
Fade
to
out,
the
F.
public for help. Hello, I'm Tony Capola.
Good evening, I'm Wendy Teese.
And take a
From
turn,
stabbings
one
to
is up. Stand by
shootings,
the
gang
latest.
activity in northern Santa Barbara County is escalating rapidly.
The latest is
Here's
up.
the latest.
Stand by
Just this
EJ4.
past Saturday, gang
Stand by, you're
members
next.
shot 2 people outside a youth church dance in Santa Maria. Last week, 2 gang members were arrested for a vicious Santa Maria stabbing.
affecting the
And in
EJ4.
Tanglewood, gang activity leads to a probation sweep that nets 9 people.
You're hot.
Action News reporter
EJ4
Karina
is
Corral
up.
is live at the Santa Maria Police Department with more.
Ready,
Karina.
Charlie with sound for a package.
Well, cops
Open
say since the
EJ4.
beginning of the year they've
Ready,
noticed
Charlie.
a spike in gang activity, and while they're doing everything they can, without the public's help, these crimes
I
are
do.
going unsolved.
Rolling Charlie sound. Package.
We have
I'll
two
take Santa Maria.
main gangs, two main primary gangs that we have in the
This is the
community.
117.
And it just seems
At
that,
10 is Santa
they're,
Maria.
They're active again.
Active and brazen. Gang members are reportedly responsible for a Saturday
22 is
night
the
shooting
father.
in which 2 people were
This is the
shot
117.
at point blank
I put in
range.
the times for
It
Brian
happened
Hunt's
at a youth
package
dance
and
held by
went to
St.
print
John
it, but
Newman
I forgot to
Church.
give it to you.
It is a
So-
sad
I think I have them. Thank you.
commentary of how far removed
Yes.
these young guys are
30 is file
from
or...
what we all consider to be normal.
Do you have a file,
and right.
CG?
It's just one of many
No?
wrongs
Okay.
committed by gang
34
members
is,
in
the
Santa Maria
lieutenant.
lately.
Our gang suppression team has just
This
been
is a
inundated.
117 gang members. The
Tanglewood
next
is
are
no
coming back to
exception.
EJ4.
Sheriff deputies recently raided almost a dozen homes looking for signs of criminal activity.
I don't fear for myself, but for my family.
30.
This woman, who doesn't want to be identified out of fear of retaliation, says the crackdown in Tanglewood is a good thing. She's especially scared for the younger crowd.
They come after the younger
15.
ones, threatening them, and they bully.
Gangs are also
10
bullying
seconds.
witnesses, leaving crimes like drive-by shootings and store robberies unsolved.
5
Don't be
seconds.
afraid
Stand by.
to talk about it.
Ready,
Don't be afraid to
EJ4.
confront a family member you know who might be a gang member.
Go, Karina. Open EJ4.
And talk to authorities.
Ready,
They're
one.
always accepting anonymous tips. Reporting live from the Santa Maria Police Department, Karina Corral. Wendy, back
Ready,
to
one.
you.
Thank you,
And
Karina.
take one.
The 2
You're
people
clear.
shot
Nice job.
at the youth dance are recovering. The
Ready,
church
3.
has decided not to hold any more dances.
And take 3.
Friends are defending
Semi
a UC
Silver
Santa
one.
Barbara soccer player arrested this past weekend on charges of raping a woman.
Silser one's
Deputies
up.
say Eric
Next, we're
Frimpong
splitting with
forced himself on a
3
university student
and
on a beach in
EJ3.
Isla Vista. Brian Hahn spoke to
Split.
Frimpong's roommate and joins us live with what she had to say.
Open
Brian.
EJ3.
Well, that roommate, Katie Smith, says deputies
EJ3's
have the
up.
wrong
Next is
man.
Delta
She's
with
been
sound
living
for
with
package.
Frimpong for the last year and says he's not capable
Rolling
of rape.
Delta sound.
Friends say
Package.
Eric Frimpong has the skills to be a
25
professional
is
soccer
Eric.
player.
We went to the Kansas City Wizards,
This is a
professional soccer team, and
123.
tried out there.
But his dreams may come crashing down if Frimpong is found guilty of raping a student who attends UC Santa Barbara.
25 is
This
Eric.
after deputies say he met that student on the 6600 block of Del Playa in Isla Vista late Friday night.
Just talking and engaged in a friendly conversation when suddenly the suspect in this case turned violent, struck the victim in the face. She tried to call for help and he essentially choked her, preventing her from calling
47
for
is
help.
Katie.
Threw
This is
her
a
to the ground and
123.
violently raped her.
Deputies say it happened here on the beach.
Ongoing investigation is
Frimpong's
the out
roommate
queue.
Katie Smith believes authorities have the wrong man.
There's no way that Eric Frimpong could have done this. He's the most loving person.
Smith says Frimpong never behaved in a threatening manner
30.
while living with him, and says he's always
Dave
been
Hutchins'
popular
IFB
among
box is
both
not
the men's
working.
and women's soccer team.
He's usually
Thank
just
you.
a mellow, really
20.
nice, laid-back guy that
Next is
has
EJ3.
abundant amount of friends.
We based our probable cause
10
on
seconds. Stand by, Brian.
the physical
Ready, EJ3.
description, and other factors and evidence that we
5
can't bring
seconds.
to the public at this time. because it is still an ongoing investigation.
Go, Brian. Open EJ3.
Now, we spoke to Frimpong's attorney
Next is
just
3
only
on
about
Tony.
half an hour ago. That attorney says Frimpong is adamant about his innocence and denies all the accusations he faces.
33.
We're live in Santa Maria. Brian Hahn. Tony, back to you.
And
All right, Brian, thanks.
Take
Medical
like 3.
exam was
You're clear.
performed
Thanks,
on
Brian.
the alleged victim.
Ready, 1 on
the
Wendy.
results should take several weeks.
Hold 1,
A
take 1.
20-year-old Santa Maria man
This is
is
a reader.
arrested
Next, we're
accused
going
of
to
having
Still Store
sex
1,
with a
tape
child.
top.
Police say David Casas had consensual sex with a 14-year-old girl. The age of consent, though, in California is 18. The sexual acts between Casas and the girl allegedly took
Ready,
place
Still
at
Store 1.
various locations in Santa Maria.
Still Store 1's
A
up.
former Santa Margarita elementary
Next
school
is 3 on
custodian gets
Tony.
40 years in federal prison after being convicted of child pornography
Matt
charges.
Cody, you're coming up. I need to see you.
36-year-old Shane Ferguson was given the maximum sentence by a Los Angeles judge yesterday. The Atascadero resident was found guilty last
EJ4
May
in queue.
of having tens of
Hi, Matt.
thousands
Mic
of child
check.
porn images, including some of a 4-year-old
Thank you.
family friend. That girl's grandparents alerted
Next is
police
3.
in 2005. Local authorities are now looking into Ferguson's relationship with the girl.
And take 3.
A registered sex
Say my
offender who
alpha.
was rearrested after violating probation made an appearance in a San Luis
Rolling
Obispo
alpha.
courtroom today.
Alpha's
San
up.
Luis Obispo police say Jonathan
Next is Still
Davis
Store
was
1.
arrested in a transient camp for being too close to a public park, a violation of his parole. Davis was released just 4 days before his February 4th arrest. He was arrested after police spotted him just 500 feet from the Damon Garcia
Ready, 1.
Sports Park off Broad Street.
Take 1.
A youth basketball
Next is
coach is
Still Store
arrested
1.
for armed robbery. Santa Barbara County Sheriff's detectives have arrested Billy Wayne Gossett.
Next, we're advancing
Gossett
Still
is
Store.
accused of using a handgun to rob 2 UC Santa Barbara students of $5,000
Say
in
my to
cash
advance Still
and
Store.
3 ounces of marijuana.
Advance it.
The Goleta man accused of slashing the tires of dozens of vehicles
Next
pleads
is 3
guilty.
key.
45-year-old Patrick Matthew
put
Ortiz
router 1 in
was
queue.
sentenced to 1 year
Hi,
in
Andrew, mic
county
check.
jail and 5 years probation
Router
for
1 in
felony
queue.
vandalism.
Yeah. One
Santa
more
Barbara
time.
County Sheriff's detectives
Thank
arrested
you.
Ortiz after
I believe you're in this
79
belt.
vehicles were vandalized in Goleta
33 key.
July of 2006 through December of 2006.
Take 3
10
key.
victims of a
Ready,
home
Bravo.
invasion Sunday night were
Theo.
likely targeted. That's according to Santa Barbara County
Rolling
investigators.
Bravo.
Sheriff's deputies found 10
Next is
Hispanic
Charlie.
field
Charlie's a
workers
SOT,
all
though.
bound with telephone cords. They say the 2 men broke into their home and got away with about
Next is Charlie.
$7,000 in
Charlie's a
cash.
Salvo.
It's thought the victims were targeted because many field workers don't have bank
my
accounts
Charlie
and
was
usually
sound.
keep their earnings at home.
Rolling Charlie sound.
I mean, this is typically a segment of the population that doesn't report being victimized for fear of their own immigration status or their own repercussions or just an unfamiliarity with the laws in the states.
Continue VO.
Anyone
Next is
with
1 straight on
information
Wendy,
about
then we're
this
doing the
case is
facts
asked
first.
to contact the Santa Barbara County
Say my
Sheriff's
Matt.
Department.
Take 1.
The
Say
war
my
of
facts
words
first.
continues between the owner of Santa Barbara County's largest daily newspaper and the writers who once worked there.
Here come the
The
facts
dispute
first.
inside the news press became public back in July when 9 top editors and reporters walked off the job. In September, the newsroom employees voted to join
Next,
the
we're affecting
Teamsters
the
Union.
EJ4.
Now, 8 claim they
Say
were
my.
fired illegally for their union support.
You're hot.
Our Matt Coda has been covering this story from the beginning and joins us now
Ready,
live
Delta
with
with
the
sound
latest.
for package.
Matt.
Open EJ4.
Well, Wendy, in this morning's news press, owner Wendy McCaw published
Delta
her
with sound.
explanation of the ongoing labor dispute at the newspaper. Then this afternoon, protesters gathered outside her office.
Rolling Delta sound. Why should our package?
More than 100 Santa Barbara residents attended a
let's put
rally
Hubby's
in
mic.
De La
Can you get a
Guerra
mic check from
Plaza
Dave
today,
Hubby, please?
including sports reporter John Zant. Zant,
Thank you.
who has worked for the news
Tell him
press
his
for
weather shot will
38
be
years,
San Luis
was
Obispo
the latest to
Skycam.
leave
John's
the
at
newsroom
15.
under a cloud of controversy.
There's been 41 journalists have
42 is Melinda.
either
This is
been
a
fired
105.
or left the paper. And I just wonder, how can 41 journalists be wrong?
Zant and others were recently fired for
Andrew, you're the
disloyalty,
second but not
specifically
final
for hanging
element
a
of this
banner
month.
over Highway 101, encouraging readers to cancel their
42 is
subscription.
Melinda.
In today's newspaper, an open letter from the
Duke, can
News
you
Press
truck
management
back
team calls the
away from
incident
Hubby?
unacceptable, inexcusable, and not permitted by
Truck
law.
right a little bit.
Are not going away. We're very
20.
angry.
The fired employees dispute the claim. They say it was illegally
Next is
protected
EJ4.
union
15.
activity. They filed legal action to get their jobs back with back pay. But it could take
10
months
seconds.
before
Ready,
federal
EJ4.
labor courts rule on the issue.
Well, this is the thing. I mean,
Ready EJ4. I need his name.
you got to have a living. You got to make a living.
Go, Matt. Open EJ4.
Now, to step up the pressure,
Next is
the
one on
fired
Wendy.
employees, the Teamsters Union, and their supporters have launched what they're calling Operation Cold Shoulder, an effort to get readers to cancel their subscriptions and for advertisers to stop doing business with the paper, hoping that financial
You guys have
pressure
Hubby scoot
on the
to
owner will
his
change
right.
things.
which would be
Quarter line,
screen
Santa
left.
Barbara
Ready
for
one.
now. Back to you in the studio.
And
Thank you, Matt.
Take one.
News Press
Thanks, guys. You're
Management has
clear.
challenged the vote by employees to
3 key.
unionize,
I know.
claiming they were intimidated and coerced. Sometime in the next few
Say my
weeks,
3
the
key.
National Labor Relations Board is expected to rule on whether that claim has
Go
merit.
forward and take 3 key.
The Atascadero Unified School District
Alpha.
reverses a controversial
Going
resolution
Alpha.
that made time for Bible study during school hours. The resolution would have allowed Atascadero High
This is
School
1
students
key.
to leave study hall and go off campus for church study with parental permission. The Board
Say
of
my 1
Trustees
key.
voted to abolish the resolution originally passed in January.
And take 1
A
key.
state judge has
Ready,
stopped
Bravo,
Governor
VO.
Schwarzenegger's attempt to transfer inmates across state
Rolling
borders.
Bravo.
The judge ruled the governor's proposal as unlawful to
Next is 3 on
involuntarily
Tony,
move
then a full
prisoners out
screen.
of state. But transporting inmates is not a new thing. Earlier this year, the California Men's Colony
can
in
you hide
San
the
Luis
glass on
Obispo
2?
says it voluntarily moved some of its prisoners out of
Ready,
state
3.
because its population is stable. CMC can house up to more than 6,500 inmates, and it currently has about 6,400.
Say my
The
3.
governor says he plans to appeal this ruling.
Take 3. Say my
Silver
full
Beach
screen.
residents will pay more for water services starting today.
Full
At a
screen's
special
up.
protest hearing last night, the City Council voted to approve
Bumps
an
next, say
immediate
my-
12% increase
Next
in
is
rates.
3 and 2 shot
Another
bump
12%
is
increase
Foxtrot
will
over
kick in July
Charlie
1st.
to
The money
router
will help
1,
pay for things
then
like improvements to
2 on
water
Humvee.
lines and new meters. 3 council members were in favor, 1 was opposed,
Ready, 3, ready,
and
cart.
another was absent.
3's
You
up.
probably
cart.
heard bicyclists from around the world
Rolling
have
Foxtrot, rolling
stormed
Charlie.
California, and tomorrow they will
Say my
all
router
be in
1.
San Luis Obispo for the second
Say
annual
my-
Amgen Tour of California.
It's a big day. Coming up, a look at that one last treacherous turn, plus how the city will be affected by all those people.
Go, Andrew. Open router 1.
And environmentally
Say my 2 on
friendly
Humvee.
cars that may not be so friendly to the visually impaired. I'm Andrew Masuda. Will explain
Ready, 2.
why coming up in a lesson.
And take 2.
And I'm meteorologist
Say my
Dave
Skycam.
Hovde. It looks to rain on the Amgen Tour of California. Could make that turn a little tricky. We'll take a look at the radar and the expectations
Skycam's up.
for
Say
this
my break
storm
with the
coming
open.
up. Now, live look at the traffic in San Luis Obispo, courtesy
Say my break.
of Skycam 6. Stay with us as Action News continues.
Rolling the break. 11:19.
Covering California's Central Coast. You're watching Tony Capola, Wendy Teese, meteorologist Dave Hovde with TrueView 6, and Dave Ollis with sports. This is KSBY 6 Action News at 6.